Hello, welcome to Funk's Film Reviews. This is Corey Funk, and now I'm on my 2004, and my favorite film of 2004 stars Jamie Foxx, Kerry Washington, Bokeem Woodbine, and a woman by the name of Sharon Warren, who actually portrayed Ray Charles' mother. But it's about Ray Charles and how he became big as a blind piano player, and I absolutely love this movie. Jamie Foxx won the Academy Award for that. He also took home the Oscar for Best Actor in a Musical Comedy at the Golden Globes, which doesn't make sense to me because I don't mainly because I look at it like a drama about a musician, not a musical comedy. A musical comedy is stuff that's a musical. Like Rocket Man would make sense putting that in the musical comedy because that's a story about Elton John done in a musical way. But Ray to me is just a movie about a blind piano player that has him playing the piano sometimes, but in concert settings, which is just a biopic about his life, in my opinion. But getting down to it, he portrays Ray Charles, blind piano player and all that, who got famous. And I also found out that he was heavy into heroin when I watched that movie. But I've always loved Ray Charles' music. Ever since first time I've ever seen Ray Charles in anything would be either the Blues Brothers or the old Diet Pepsi's You Got the Right One, Baby. And then I end up hearing about the Ray Charles movie and all that, and I end up watching it, and I'm like, wow, that is a performance I'll go as far as say it's one of my favorite performances of that decade too, of the 2000s. Some only ones I think are better. I think Philip Seymour Hoffman and Capote, maybe. Heath Ledger's The Joker, which I actually will go as far as say is my favorite performance on film was from The Dark Knight, which later we'll get to that movie. But this is about Ray Charles, and Jamie Foxx does a fantastic job. It won him the Best Actor at the Oscars, and well-deserved. And nothing against Leo. If Jamie Foxx wasn't up against, if Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't up against Ray Charles, like Jamie Foxx's portrayal of Ray Charles, he probably would have won that performance. But until he finally won for The Revenant, Leo had an opportunity, except for I think he should have won for Wolf of Wall Street. But that's the only one I thought he got robbed for. Every other one he happened to be up against performances that just happened to be better than his. They were good performances, but just happened to be up against movies that were better performances. But yeah, and also has Kerry Washington, who plays Bea, who ends up being Ray Charles's wife. Bokeem Woodbine is one of his band members, and this movie it is such a good movie. Also, Lorenz Tate portrays a young Quincy Jones, and Ray Charles as well. Like when he stood up, when they had that Georgia concert and all that, he actually stood up for the civil rights, and he refused to play that, and later he ended up getting honor. And then Georgia on My Mind ended up being the state song for Georgia in the future, which is a beautiful, beautiful song. I've actually done that song at karaoke a few times. But yes, the movie Ray is a very, very fantastic film. I've seen it in theaters, but it was crazy that I had no idea that Ray Charles was a heroin addict. And but another reason why I think Ray Charles or Jamie Foxx deserved to win that year is the fact that he did that film with portraying a blind person and all that. He had his eyes shut to actually get the feel of what it was like to be blind. And I absolutely loved that aspect of the movie. And it does feel like a lot, like some people might be, it feels like a lot. Yeah, it does feel like it does have that musical biopic formula where he starts here, meets his band, and then they do a song. That song becomes big, and then it hits the radio and people go crazy. That is a formula that's used in a lot of biopic, but biopics, but something about Jamie Foxx's performance to me made me love it. And just when he goes through his withdrawals is another moment of phenomenal acting, or where he goes back in his mind where he sees his younger brother that he saw drown and his mother, and basically they tell him to stop being a cripple and all that, and where his mother told him he doesn't want his boy to be a cripple. And yeah, so the movie Ray by Taylor Hackford is a highly, highly, highly recommended film by me. It is a double gold, obviously, because I wouldn't put it on my favorite film of the year. And it was my favorite film of 2004. Taylor Hackford, you did a fantastic job, man, directing that film. I was glad I got a Best Picture nomination. I was a little bit worried that when it happened and all, the other ones are, but just something about Ray really resonated with me. And like I said, I know it has the tropes that a lot of musical biopics do, but I really enjoyed it. And also another thing I was going to say is talking about Richard Roeper is going to the next year. I disagree with Richard Roeper on this, that he said that Johnny Cash, like Joaquin Phoenix, did a better job. He does deserve an Oscar nomination, but I'm sorry, Jamie Foxx did one of the best performances, in my opinion. And yes, it's kind of an Oscar baity role, but it was an Oscar baity role that actually deserved to win. There's many Oscar baity roles that don't, but Jamie Foxx playing Ray Charles, man, you did a fantastic job, and you changed my view on you when you started movies like Booty Call, and you did a lot. You've always been a funny guy, but that movie showed you could act, and congrats. And that's right. This is me doing my review for Ray, Double Gold, directed by Taylor Hackford, best film of 2004. This was Corey Funk for Funk's Film Reviews.